All right, guys, welcome back. If you guys tuned into the first episode, huge thank you. We're going to be releasing them like a weekly basis.
Yes.
Ideally. So keep tuning in. We're going to make sure that they're good. We're going to improve off of the episodes. If you guys have any feedback, obviously it's always welcome. But thank you for being here. I'm your host, Justin.
I'm Jeremy.
So today's episode is going to be kind of thematic. This one is going to be about gaslighting. So all of the stories that we share are going to incorporate some level of gaslighting.
And I printed mine out this time so I can look at the camera and Justin, and you don't have to look at the back of my greasy head.
Good to see his beautiful eyes.
And we've already made some, we've already solved some mistakes I did the first time. It's shot in portrait and not landscape.
Yeah. So it should,
amateur move.
Should look a little bit better.
And yeah, lighting looks good.
Some new audio.
Yeah, we're working with a weird situation. I won't get into it, but
it should be
the next pod we'll be using a different mic, most likely. We may not use this one next time. This is just something like kind of experimenting with. Yeah.
But yeah, enough behind the scenes talks. So we'll hop right in. This one comes from relationship advice. Am I, 26 female, being gaslighted? That stood out to me a little bit.
Gaslighted.
So is the past tense gaslit or gaslight?
I would say so.
All right. So she's on a weak footing already. My boyfriend, 24, and I, 26, were casually talking about a girl we know. I mentioned how I remember her because I know she's a girl he hit on at one point and was interested in. I know this because he slid up on her story in a bikini saying, "Looks like you're living your best life," with 2 winking emojis. And liked every single one of her half-naked photos. I didn't lose much sleep about it, but he is saying that he didn't view that as flirting, that it isn't flirting in his eyes. I feel like that's pretty much textbook flirting. He's gotten defensive and now just said we clearly see flirting differently, but I'm having a hard time understanding how that can't be flirting. I was starting to think he is gaslighting me, but am I gaslighting him? That's kind of funny. Relevant background info I was embarrassed to share. This was about interactions he had with this girl before we began dating, not during our relationship. So it kind of sounds like it's inconsequential. Like, it doesn't really matter to the relationship. I guess maybe they're just having a conversation of, like, about this person or, like, about the fact that it happened. Mm-hmm. However, we are recently in reconciliation the last 2 months from him emotionally cheating on me in the beginning of our relationship, which is 1 year long. All right.
Because I zoned out. I don't know what happened. I zoned out for a hot second.
There you go.
So he was liking half-naked pictures of his ex, or
I think just some random girl. So apparently, but this happened before he was with his current girlfriend.
Oh.
So, but the thing is, like, the debate comes in because what he did, he slid up on, I guess, like, her Insta or Snap story when she was in a bikini, and he said, looking like you're living your best life. With 2 winking emojis.
And was it just like a selfie of her in the bikini? No, that's sus.
And how is that not flirting?
I don't know if I would call this gaslighting. I would say it's him being naive, maybe more. But it could fall under gaslighting potentially, yeah. But either way.
I mean, it definitely sounds like he was definitely flirting.
Yeah.
But it wasn't
So I guess he is gaslighting then, if he's saying that he's not. Or maybe he's doing it without... He's doing it... He just might have he's just being stupid. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, that one's hard to, like, I feel like, categorize.
So, yeah, I was going to ask, I should have, before we got into the stories, what is your definition, or what do you think of, like, would define?
So,
how would you define it?
I would define gaslighting, obviously a form of manipulation aimed at promoting your own narrative and one that's beneficial over actual truth. I could do something wrong that my partner might be like, dude, what the fuck? And I'll be like, oh, no, I didn't do that. This is what I did. This was innocent. So it's kind of like you're downplaying someone else's perspective or the truth of a situation in order to kind of like get ahead.
That's very well said. I don't have too much to add to that because I agree with that entirely. I remember I Googled the definition of it a while ago because I know what it meant, but I just didn't know, like, I wanted to know what the definition is. But the definition is to making someone perceive their own reality as, like, false. Or something along those lines.
Right, yeah.
It's pretty close to the Google definition. From what I remember. But that's definitely best summed up that way, yeah.
I feel like that's, like, a complex kind of thing, too.
Yeah, because it applies to a lot of situations.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
as far as this one, though.
Yes.
I don't know. I guess because I mean that could arguably just be a difference in opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, I do think that he was flirting. Like, that is definitely something flirtatious. But I also don't think he's gaslighting because how does he benefit from that? You know, because like all of this occurred before they were dating. So.
Oh, even the swipe up on the.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't think any of it really matters.
That's my thing.
Oh, I did remember. So the actual definition is to make someone question their own reality.
Yes.
That's what the definition is. That's what it is. I remember I said that to my dad once. We were like arguing about something. This was a few months ago or something. I was like, "You're gaslighting me." And he's like, "I'm what?"
Dude, shout out Todd.
I think the verdict is not.
I would say not.
Yeah,
I would say not.
Yeah. Were there any comments worth reading on that one?
Neither of you is gaslighting the other. You just have different ideas of what flirting means.
Yeah.
If he were gaslighting you, he'd be denying it ever happened and trying to get you to doubt your own memory. He acknowledges that it did happen, but he just doesn't call it flirting like you do.
That's true. I would say it's flirting, but it doesn't matter because they weren't dating.
Exactly, right. Yeah, at the end of the day.
Yeah.
But also, like, he pretty much nailed it. It's just like a difference in, like, he doesn't see it as flirting. She does.
Yeah.
But.
Okay. So, most of mine are on the goofier side, like I said. I'd have, like, one serious one.
That one was kind of goofy, to be honest.
True. Okay, so this one comes from True Off My Chest. I gaslight my husband when we fight. Like, it's just straight up.
Self-acknowledged. It's like, yeah, I did it.
But like I said, this is goofy, so, okay. This isn't anything crazy. Just something funny that I want to tell people about, but can't risk getting caught. My husband, 30 male, and I, 30 female.
I think I've heard this one.
You might have. I don't know. We'll see. Have been together for 8 years. For the past couple of years, I make him a peanut butter and jelly sandwich every day to take to work. I use Welch's Grape Concord jelly. This is important for later. Every day he tells me that I make the best sandwiches, and I just say, I make it with love. However, when we were fighting, he always says he can taste the difference in his PBJ, and I say, because I made it with hate.
She's like, I'm mad at you.
This one's so fucking funny to me. But the truth is, he can taste the hate in the sandwich because when we fight, I use organic, sugar-free grape jam.
Organic, though. It's healthy.
What I guess. I use organic, sugar-free grape jam. It's in the back of the fridge, and he's never seen it. So it's what I use to convince him that he can't make me mad or my anger makes food taste different. Like I said, this wasn't anything crazy, but it's something I always get a giggle out of and thought all of you would too. Yeah. So that's
honestly, I kind of like that because so like it definitely is like I would say a form of gaslighting because she's leading him to believe that he can I guess taste her emotions. But like dude, I think it's like innocent enough to like it's funny.
Yeah.
And like I think if she told him that this is her method and what she does, he'd probably be like, dude, you're fucking crazy, but I love you.
It's funny because it's like incentive to not start arguments
exactly,
or fights with your wife.
Yeah.
But like in the less like a very inconsequential.
Yeah. I feel like it'd be worse if she was like poisoning him.
Yeah.
Like imagine they get into a fight and she's just like sprinkling like glass.
Oh God. Yeah. I was gonna say like
that's not even poisoning. That's like
no, like you're trying to attempted murder.
Yeah.
I was gonna say like not gas X, but what is that shit called?
What is it?
Makes you shit.
Oh.
I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Fuck. Like laxatives?
Yeah, laxatives.
Okay,
yeah. God damn it.
I'm fucking dumb.
I gotta blow my nose. God.
Jeremy's blowing his nose right now, guys. Don't cut this. Leave it in.
Oh, no, because I'm just using it, blowing it into my hands, and then rubbing it on my pants.
Fuck, I'm really sad that that's going to get cut, because that's...
We'll see how bad it looks.
There we go.
Oh, God.
All right.
Doesn't look good.
This one comes from relationship advice, again. This one I feel like is going to be open to some, like, debate about it. Wife, 38 female, is convinced that she is pregnant, even though every pregnancy test, store-bought and medical, comes back negative. It's taking a toll on our marriage because she thinks I'm going to abandon her and, in quotes, our twins. This is all over the place. I really need help. My wife and I, male 42, have been married for 2 years together for 15. All this time, we'd either not decided to have kids or had problems getting pregnant. After some medical testing, we found out that it was near impossible to get pregnant due to some medical issues on her end. We were thinking of adopting when one day she came home and told me she was expecting. Of course, I was super happy. A week later, we had an appointment at the gyno and she had some blood drawn. The test came back negative, and of course I was devastated, but she wasn't. She claimed that she was pregnant and that the doctor was wrong. We took some more store-bought ones and they all came back negative. My wife is in complete denial. Now she claims we're having twins. She is buying them clothes and decorations and is pressuring me to start working on their nursery. I am at a loss and don't know what to do. My inaction is making her believe that I want to leave them and that I'm going to doom my wife into the life of a single mom. What the F is even happening? I love her, but I don't know what to do. Edit, forgot to add, I have tried talking her into therapy, but she accuses me of gaslighting her.
Oh my god.
That's kind of funny. I like that little touch.
Ironic that you say that.
Yeah. I don't know if, I wouldn't say that's gaslighting. That just sounds like denial.
Yeah, I am going to say it's just denial. Or delusion.
Delusion, exactly, yes.
Girl, you're delusional. Like, you're tripping.
That's, That's kind of like, I mean, I don't know. There's definitely like something psychologically going on there. Like it almost comes off as like a coping mecknism because she is infertile to some degree.
Yeah, she has like a mental break or something.
Yeah, dude. But it's like things like that are interesting to me because it's like, how do you justify that to yourself? Like there was a time where she was like getting away with it, like with her husband, and he's like, "Oh my God, you're pregnant." Mm-hmm. But like she knows she's not pregnant, and what happens in 9 months when she's supposed to be having twins? Like the goalpost just keeps getting moved. Like,
oh yeah, and she's not gonna like get
like
a baby bump or anything.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, that's insane. It reminds me of. So I don't watch Dr. Phil, but I remember this one episode is he's good, I guess.
He brought Bad Baby to fame, right?
Yeah, that's stupid. But there was an episode where this girl swore that she was pregnant with Jesus's child or the God's child, and she claimed to be a virgin, and she didn't go to a doctor to like see if she was pregnant, and I don't think she even took pregnancy tests. She was just like being psychotic. She was young. She was like a teenager.
Well, how do we know that she wasn't pregnant with?
Because she never had the baby.
Oh, fuck.
That's so funny. So that's kind of what this reminds me of.
Yeah.
Like someone claiming that they're pregnant when they're clearly not. And I can't imagine.
Dude,
I couldn't tolerate. I wouldn't.
Nah.
I couldn't tolerate that.
Well, I think
like it would make me not. I would want to end it. Like I don't know. Like.
And it's so I was gonna say like there's definitely like a therapeutic approach that has to be taken. Like I am not like I don't have the skills or the ability to help someone get through something like that. But the fact that she was declining going to therapy,
a lot of people are against it. I would say I would never. Maybe I never felt that I had to, but I don't know.
Yeah, I'm definitely not against it. I just think in a situation like that, I don't know. Like, the fact that she has no self-awareness.
Yeah.
Or she's just, like...
It's just red flag. Are they married?
Yeah, married for 2 years. They've been together for 15.
Holy shit.
Dude. And, like, that's... Because I feel like if she's not going to get help, the only other thing to do... I mean, depending on the severity of it and how bad it gets, is to just leave her.
I wish there was an update on this one.
Yeah, me too. There might have been, actually.
Yeah, check that out. Because I don't... After being with someone for 17 years, it's a lot harder or easier said than done to leave.
Definitely. 15 years?
Especially if they are having like some mental psychotic break.
Right.
They need help.
Right. Because that's not...
You leaving may not make that better.
Exactly. And that's not even like something that she might be doing like willfully.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you said, it could be like some kind of psychotic break. So there was an update though. It says little update. Thank you guys. You really helped me out. Yesterday was a bad day and you helped me get clarity. I've had a chat with our doctor who will now be handling this with us. I would like to thank most of you with useful advice and hopefully I will be able to update good news someday. But a fuck you to those that said I should divorce her because she is crazy, and an extra fuck you to the guy that used this post to push his anti-abortion agenda.
Oh.
Getting political. All right.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely feel it. And especially like we said, 15 years, someone is solidified in your life.
That's a lot to walk away from.
Yeah, definitely. But like there was some form of outside help that was needed because like if she's not going to seek therapy herself, he's never going to get through to her.
Yeah.
And she's going along with it. So, like, something was needed. But, crazy.
Okay, so this is my only more serious one. Yeah, this one is just kind of petty. It's what annoyed me. It's a bit ironic. So this comes from our marriage. My wife seems to label everything as gaslighting. So my wife has discovered this term, gaslighting, in the last couple of years, and has become the most used word in our marriage. She has basically announced that everything that I do during a disagreement is gaslighting. I took a while to understand it, then accepted my faults, and have tried a lot to get it under control, but nothing seems to be enough for her. Now it has come to the point that if she gets mad at anything, if I say a single word that is not in agreement, then it's gaslighting. I don't even have to argue. Even if I give a look of disagreement, even a non-aggressive one, she labels it as gaslighting and gets mad. It has reached a point that even when she accuses me of something I didn't do, I must just say, yes, I did that. Literally anything else I say is gaslighting. This has been a staple of our lives, and it drives me mad, but I'm not supposed to say anything at all. What the fuck am I supposed to do? Am I being fooled?
All right, that's crazy because she has weaponized it. Like,
so it is. So the first comment, the first sentence is, she's gaslighting you about gaslighting her. That is exactly what is happening. She's,
it's like Inception.
Yeah, so that's exactly how I feel about it. That she's
a gaslight within a gaslight.
She is so hot on this buzzword that she thinks that she can just use it to get away with how she wants the argument to go. I don't know.
It's so hard to tell, like, in a situation like that, whether someone is, like, being genuine or if...
I don't think she knows what it is.
But, like, over disagreements, that sounds intentional. That sounds like... And also that's weird because, like, you don't even want a partner. You want a pushover or...
Yeah, you want a yes man.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. But, yeah, it sounds weird to be, like... Because it doesn't even sound like he's doing anything, like, malicious. Like, he's like, oh, no, I didn't do this today. And she's like, oh, my God, are you gaslighting me? He's like, dude, what the fuck? like, I don't know. That's really weird. It definitely sounds weaponized. But, like I was saying...
Weaponized gaslighting.
Yeah. Or, like, not necessarily weaponized gaslighting, but, like, she's definitely taking, like, a victim role.
Yeah.
And then, like, becoming the aggressor. Which is fucking weird.
Yeah, I just think it's very ironic, and she is definitely gaslighting him. Everything is like any argument, like he has nothing to stand on.
Which
his point doesn't matter. Like, regardless of her saying that she's gaslighting him or he's gaslighting her every argument. I wonder how often they're arguing to the point.
It sounds like a lot.
Yeah, I mean, they said over the past few years, a couple years. I don't know. I haven't had a lot of relationships where I've argued.
Dude.
I haven't had too many like long relationships either. But my longest one, we probably only argued like, I don't know, like once or twice in that 1 year that we were together. I don't know.
Sadly to say, for me, I have gone through kind of like a toxic relationship like that. And not to like assign blame or point fingers or anything, but I don't think I was the one who it like originated with.
Yeah.
And the reason I say originated is because eventually,
yes,
I did become toxic as well, like in that relationship.
I'm aware. Because, I know it's not.
Yeah. I think it's something about like when you're, especially for like how I am, like I'm very much about like equality, equal treatment, fairness in a relationship. So I feel like if someone is not treating me how I'm treating them, and I notice that it's like intentional, everything's out the window. I'm like, dude, fuck that. I'm doing exactly what you're doing. And I mean, that's the thing though, like in that relationship, like I said, I did not handle it appropriately. I should have just left. But I would never step up the ante, which I think is really funny because like I would get crossed in some way. And then I would do the same thing, and then they would step it up again.
Like be petty.
Right.
Tit for tat.
Exactly. And that's
spiting each other.
Yeah, and that's not a healthy relationship at all.
I think regardless of her, even if like it couldn't, I'm trying to figure out how to word this. Even if she wasn't saying gaslighting, she would be finding some way to be the victor of all their arguments.
Yeah.
So it doesn't sound like their relationship is coming from like a very like healthy place in general. Like even if it wasn't this, it could have been however she wants to word it.
Right.
But she cannot lose an argument, and it's just like he's not allowed to have an opinion on stuff.
It sounds like she has like such a lack of respect for him.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of a result, like the whole like I have to win this argument.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a result of just like having such a lack of respect, because it just shows that she thinks she's morally, emotionally, or intellectually superior.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas it's like, dude, he's a fucking person too. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
so I would say
I don't think there's any gaslighting. Nah, doesn't
I would still like to say, just because she's saying gaslighting, I'd be like, she is gaslighting you. Just because it's funny that we're kind of burning through these. In the future, we should have like extras, because I thought 4 would be enough. I had 5, but
I think
I decided not to print it.
We had
we went through 4. We went 4 and 4. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Like it was like perfect almost.
Yeah. I wonder why. I think we had more instances. Yeah, I think we had more instances where we had like longer reactions.
Right. Yeah.
Like that. But I mean,
it's fine.
Yeah.
It'll give us some extra time to talk to the end if we run through them all.
Yeah.
So this one's incredibly short. This one isn't necessarily a story. It's just it's a relevant joke to the topic. So this is from Texting Theory, and it's a screenshot of like a DM from Instagram, it looks like.
Nice.
And I believe, from what I can tell, it's a guy DMing the girl. That's all I can really get from it.
How all great love stories start.
I've never met up with anyone that I've slid into someone's DMs and then met up. Has not happened. Okay. So, oh no, it says you matched. So this is some dating site. I'm not familiar with it.
Let me see.
Could be Tinder, but it says you matched up here.
Yeah, it's Tinder.
Okay. All right. Straightforward or a joke? Other person. Both. Fine. Joke first. Have you heard the joke about the gaslighter? I have not. Yes, I'm pretty sure you have.
I did.
Don't think so. Are you crazy or something? Like, you definitely heard it. I may be a little crazy, but I've never heard this joke. You know, if I was more mean, I would keep going and try to gaslight you more, but it's been a long day.
So, okay, hold on. I want to comment on that. How did that fly over that person's head? Like, they were, like, perpetuating the joke by accident.
Yeah. And so, she says, I agree, very long, and then a separate message, I get the joke, in parentheses. So it might have taken her a second. I don't know.
I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then he said, what joke? And she said, okay. And then she said, what's this straightforward? He says, give me your number and let's FaceTime this shit. And then she does give him her number, so it worked.
See, gaslighting. I think always do it.
I think that is a good joke. I think I have heard that before.
Yeah.
But maybe I'll use it on Tinder. Who knows?
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
This one comes from Am I the Asshole? Am I the asshole for refusing to give a portrait to a client after she changed the payment terms? This happened a while ago, but I never really got closure, and I still think about it sometimes. I'm a local artist and occasionally take commissions. A girl I barely knew, she was a mutual friend of my close friend, asked me to draw a portrait of Emma Watson. We agreed on the paper size, timeline, and the price.
Like a sexy photo? Or a sexy picture?
Hopefully.
Yeah.
I think even just a portrait of Emma Watson is just sexy.
Yeah, she's pretty cute.
She immediately asked for a discount. Even though I already charge very low rates, I gave her the same price I offer to close friends and family just to be kind. Still, she pushed for more. I struggle with setting boundaries, and I feel like she took advantage of that. Eventually, we agreed she'd only pay 70% of the original price. She's getting fucked. That's crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't mention the prices other than that.
Yeah, there's no monetary value. But, like, I think that's even worse, to put it in terms of, like, percentage. Like, you don't even know this girl, and you're only getting 30% of the original price you asked. How do you allow that to happen?
I would burn it.
Yeah.
I would send her a video of me burning.
That'd be funny. Like, you go through the work of doing it, and you're like, I don't even give a fuck.
Yeah.
I finished the portrait and gave it to her in person. She was really happy with it, showed it off to her friends, and complimented my work. But then, she told me she would only pay 50% of the already discounted price.
Oh, so she's paying 15%?
She's basically stealing from her.
Yes.
Like, that's
oh
insane.
my god.
I was shocked. She claimed that giving me a social media shout out and sending her friends to me as clients would make up for the rest. But I wasn't even using social media at the time, and I never agreed to that kind of trade. I explained, as calmly as I could, I hate confrontation, that this wasn't what we agreed on, and that I had put many hours of work into this. I reminded her that I'm already charging far below standard rates. She didn't care. Instead, she said things like, I'm not even that talented, and I should just treat this as practice. At that point, I'd had enough. I didn't argue, I just quietly took the portrait back and left. After that, she twisted the story and told our mutual friends that I was the one gaslighting her, which was honestly ironic, because looking back, she was the one trying to manipulate the situation from the start. Sadly, some of our mutual friends believed her and cut me off. That really hurt, especially since I usually avoid drama and just try to keep the peace. I still have the portrait. I might post it here, but I'll blur out my signature since it would reveal my identity. So, am I the asshole for refusing to give her the portrait after she tried to change the deal and insult my work? Why are you even asking?
Oh my god. Yeah, so
Dude.
Once again, we have a situation like a previous story where the person saying that they're being gaslighting, that's not what's happening. They're doing the gaslighting.
Yeah.
And that person telling her friends, OP's a girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, with the client or person buying the photo or picture, them telling like her friends or other people that she's like ripping her off or something.
And the fact that they believed it and just like,
Yeah.
I think
because it's some rando, right? From
she was a mutual friend, so one of her close friends linked her up with her. But it's kind of scary because I think I guess like anecdotally true that a lot of like more manipulative people have like some charismatic tendencies and traits.
Oh yeah.
So it's probably a situation where this girl obviously is like more shy and reserved, probably like a little bit of a pushover. So she wasn't really willing when confronted to be like, "Oh no, like here's what actually happened."
Mm-hmm.
And they're just hearing the story from this girl who's like, just fucking
coming out of left field. Yeah, that's very. Yeah. I would be very upset and like frustrated if no one believed me.
But honestly, I think it's one of those things where I think like the universe has balance.
Oh, like karma stuff.
Yeah, but in this situation, to the degree that like they obviously weren't friends or people that she wanted in her life anyway, because she didn't do any of that, and her people who were supposed to be her friends didn't believe her or didn't even like seek more information to see if it was true or not. They're just like, oh, she's crazy.
You ever seen a movie called A Bronx Tale or something?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it though.
So in the beginning, I don't know if I actually watched the whole thing, but it's the main character, this guy, New York, whatever, and he lends a friend of his $20, and he keeps dodging him every time he keeps asking about him, and so like this like mentor, like mob boss that he knows, he brings it up to him. He's like, "Yo, what do I do about my friend? Owes me $20, keeps dodging me." And he's like, "Well, it sounds like you paid $20 to lose like someone who like isn't your friend."
Exactly. Yeah. And I think in this case, it's a shame that because that's a weird situation. Like I don't know. Like the people who cut her off weren't even involved in anything that happened. Why the fuck are you cutting her off? Like, that's just weird to me.
I wonder what she said to them. Because
obviously a little bullshit, but like
the person buying is also a girl. Not that
yeah.
So let me get this straight. So it was originally like 100% of whatever the price is.
Yep. She gave her a rate
of and then they agreed for somehow that she was only going to be paying 30% in the end, and then half. So
there was a lot of like negotiating, and like as I guess progress was being made, like
she negotiated to 30% of the original.
So I think before they met in person, they had finally agreed on just the buyer paying only 30%.
Right.
Which even that I'd have been like, dude, I'm not working on this paying. No, fuck that. But she was, and honestly, that's what sucks about people who are like that level of kind. Like you have people like that who like take advantage of it. Because like realistically, that is so nice. Like you're gonna put all this work into this picture, and like I only have to give you 30% of what you usually charge. And now she's probably never gonna do that again for anyone, you know. But yeah, so they
and then they double down.
So she's like, okay, I'll pay 30%, right? Just in person.
At that point, you got to wonder if they were just like, I wonder how much I can get away with.
Well, the vibe that I'm getting is like this is like a normal thing for this person. They're used to just like changing rules or prior
not following
agreements.
Through.
Yeah.
Sticking to the word.
Dude, throw a brick at people like that. Like, that's just fucked up. I don't know, but yeah. Either way, she's shitty. But the thing that stood out to me, and this is how I feel like you know that there was gaslighting that was taking place. Us reading this story, we're like, dude, this chick fucking sucks.
Yeah.
She at the end says, "So am I the asshole?"
Oh, yeah.
Like, what?
This is probably like a very like sweet, like kind-hearted person.
Yeah, definitely.
Who, maybe a bit of a pushover.
Right. Yeah. And
stuff.
Yeah, that definitely sucks.
This unfortunately reminds me of. I kind of did this today, and
I know what you're gonna say.
So
concerning your guitar sale.
Correct.
All right.
I doubt they're watching.
You should send them the link.
Nope. So a lot of times when I post something for sale for the website that I use, a lot of it has been guitar pedals. But a lot of times I don't know how much shipping for that thing is gonna be until I go to ship it. So with guitar pedals, it's usually, I don't know, maybe like anywhere from $10 to $30, depending on where I'm shipping it to. With guitars, I have less experience like estimating, and like you can get an estimation. The last guitar I sent, I think I underestimated. I said I asked for like 150 or 100. I think I asked for 130 shipping, and the shipping. It was funny that guitar was also going to New Jersey. It's a different person, but so it was only going to New Jersey. But the shipping for this guitar was $160. It was
fucking crazy.
Yeah,
you could have given me 50 and I'd drive it there.
That's what I was saying. It was like it'd be like a 4 or 5 hour drive, like to and from all day. So that was with UPS. So this time my parents said to check out FedEx might be cheaper, and it was. So
shout out FedEx. When
I had posted this guitar that I sold, I just shipped this today. I put the shipping price at $200.
Jesus Christ.
And so
how much did you sell the guitar for?
$200. So the shipping was
100% of oh my god.
This guitar it's been on this website like as a listing for months. So because its retail value isn't that high right now. I think retail it's like $500. So all in all,
it's a discount.
Right. When I first bought it, I bought it for like $700 or $600.
It was in good condition?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's like a couple chips, but I mentioned that in the pictures and stuff. And I even helped this guy. He asked for some more pictures to upload, and I posted like 3 more for him.
I don't know why, when you said that, I just imagined you like including a nude in there.
But so I got an estimate for FedEx, and they like estimated it like $97.
Even that is still kind of
after
cheaper.
After everything, it went to the shipping ended up being $105 something, which compared to my previous experience, is a lot cheaper. Yeah. And I was like, I can deal with this. That being said, I don't feel 100% guilty about it because I would value that guitar at $400.
I think
and I'm still only getting about $300 back because $100 of that still had to go to shipping. So I'm not getting $400 in like from this guitar. I'm getting like $300.
Yeah, and even despite that, like the price was transparent. You communicated like this is the price of the guitar, this is the price of shipping.
It's how it's listed, and it says exactly what it is,
and that was agreed upon.
Correct.
So like I'm sure if you told this person like it ended up being $100 cheaper. Yeah. But at the same time, like this person was expecting to lose $400 either way.
I will say this is where on this specific time
I'm going to bat for you.
I know. Trust me, I'm not a swindler. I don't sell things regularly on the internet, all right? Just
drugs. No, I'm just kidding.
I had, because he said after I put up these 3 extra photos that he would purchase it in the next couple days. This was about a week ago now. And I had texted him, this was like Thursday or Friday, or not texted, messaged him on the website that, I was going to try and ship it tomorrow, which at the time would have been Friday. Or no, it would have been Saturday, something like that. And he said, no worries, whatever. Saturday comes around, I had missed the window of shipping. Like UPS or USPS closes at like 2 or 12. Like they close early on Saturdays. Sunday, obviously they're not open. And I messaged this guy. I'm like, hey, sorry about that. Didn't get to it. Monday comes around. I worked both my jobs, and it was like, so I worked from like 11 to 9:30, something like that. Could have done it in the morning. I didn't want to. I have a hard time getting up early as is.
Yeah, you're a busy guy.
I say early, like 10 a.m. isn't like super late or super early, but
yeah,
for me,
if I could every day, I'd sleep into noon.
I sleep in. I don't know. Recently, I've been getting up at like 11 or 12.
Yeah,
but whatever. Because I don't work till like 5 sometimes.
Yeah.
So I said, Monday comes around, and I'm like, depending on how much extra shipping this will be, I'm gonna send the case as well. But I'm not sure how much shipping is going to be because it's the case itself is probably just as heavy as the guitar. It's a hard shell case, if not heavier. It's not a light case. It's probably like 20
So did
pounds.
you already like list a price for?
So when in the listing for the guitar, I said I could throw in the case for an extra like $80 because the case cost me at the time probably $90.
Okay.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And I don't have a guitar that I need to put in it.
Is it like
I have a case,
a hard shell case, or is it? Like...
It is a hard shell, so it's heavy. Like it's like 20 pounds. Like I have a case for this guitar, and this is the only. And then I have a hard shell for this one, and I have my bass one, and then some of my other stuff. I don't need. Like they're not super expensive.
Yeah.
If I want to take it somewhere, I'm not worried about it getting
right. Right. Yeah.
But like this one being my currently most expensive guitar, it came with like a nice padded case. It's soft shell, but it's padded. It's very nice.
Yeah.
So I just had no reason for this, and I didn't want to pay the extra shipping on it. I decided to keep it the hard shell case, even though I don't have a guitar for it right now.
So wait, did he ask for?
No, he just said he's like, oh, that's cool, whatever. But like once again, I'm not worried. Like take your time with shipping it. Like he wasn't pressed at all.
Yeah.
So I feel.
And he didn't care about the case.
No.
Did he pay you for the case?
No, he didn't pay.
Oh, then dude,
I know. But that's what I'm saying. I was being a bit of a pushover because I felt bad that it was taking me so long to send it out.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like, maybe I can, make him feel better by just throwing in the case for extra since I don't need it.
Gotcha.
That's not what happened. Instead, I banked an extra like $90.
There we go.
I don't know.
Money.
Whatever.
Around,
I'm really poor, so that's fine.
Not for long.
No. Alright. So this is my last one. This one it's goofy.
Nice. Okay.
But I could see how it could be a problem. Like it's unfortunate that this happened to this person. I don't know how, it is goofy, but it's like they should get checked out maybe. I don't know.
Oh fuck.
I don't know how to explain this. Okay, so this comes from our Gaslight. Dude, the Gaslight subreddit didn't have a lot of posts. It had like less than like 30 or 40.
Yeah, that sounds like kind of a particular.
Yeah, it's very niche.
Yeah.
Okay, so it comes from our Gaslight. Title is, it just says gaslighted myself.
What?
Sounds hard to do, right?
Yeah, what the fuck? Okay.
I used to have a partner, and they would come over and comfort me with thunderstorms. I wasn't really afraid. I just wanted an excuse to cuddle, and they knew that. I would say things like, I'm so scared. And then they would laugh and hug me. Well, later on, it started getting worse and worse to where I really was scared. And if they weren't there, I could cry or have a panic attack. I told myself these things were scary for so long that now I believe it, and I'm highly terrified of storms. Today, right now, no partner at all. Thunderstorm happening while writing this. I'm terrified and curl up in a ball, sobbing while in the corner of my bed because I'm even too scared to walk to the kitchen to eat. It's 2:47 a.m. and I haven't eaten, but the storm should be over soon, so I will last. But God, this is terrifying, and I'm only writing this to distract myself.
Honestly, I love this story because I love the complexities of the human mind and things like that. I feel like a couple different things that could be going on. Obviously, I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about, but like theoretically, I feel like. So obviously, she enjoyed cuddling with this person, right? Mm-hmm. So there was kind of like a feedback loop that was generated. Like anytime she'd be like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared," not actually being scared. She was rewarded with cuddles, which are like a feel-good thing. So she gets in this habit, and there's like association going on every time it's raining, every time there's a storm. She's like, "Oh my God, I'm so scared."
Situation.
Exactly. And I think it just got to the point where...
That's crazy. She tricked herself, though.
Yeah.
That's... Like, I've never heard anything like this. Like, I've heard, like, Pavlov's dog, whatever, that whole story, or experiment, doing it to other people.
Yeah. Which I think is, like...
It's kind of gaslighting in itself.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. That's kind of fucked up, honestly. Depending on like the extent of it. But I'd be like, are you hacking me right now?
Yeah.
Like if I found out.
Kind
of.
Yeah,
like, I mean, the human brain, I feel like people are robotic in
habits,
some fashion.
And how they're built.
Yeah.
Interesting. So, okay, so there's one comment on this, what I printed out. There was another one that was referring this as being hypochondriac kind of situation.
Like the whole story?
Yeah, or like, yeah. And I could see that.
Yeah.
But if this is the only time this has happened, I wouldn't put it into that. You know what I mean? Or like, I don't know how you diagnose someone with that. But if this is the only instance, I wouldn't say so.
Yeah,
because it has to be.
I think that's hypochondria.
It's like a repeating thing.
And it's also like usually linked to
like...
Yeah, from what I understand, it's linked to like OCD. Things like that.
Dude, hold on. I this whole time, I'm like, why am I sweating so much? Dude, I forgot to put on deodorant. Dude, I'm sweating so fucking.
Yeah, like from what I understand, like any symptoms or any traits of like being a hypochondriac, I think that is linked to like OCD. So, but I think OCD is usually like.
We're not doctors, but I don't know.
I have no idea what the fuck I'm talking about. I think it's usually linked with other mental disorders too. Like, I don't think it's typically like, oh, you just have OCD. Like, I think it's like an anxiety trait. But like I said, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm talking on my ass.
So this comment. I don't think this is gaslighting, but it's a well-known documented phenomenon with a name I can't remember. But the good thing is that you can.
That sounds like gaslighting.
It sounds like exactly what we're talking about. We just have no idea what we're saying. Okay, but the good thing is that you can do it in reverse. I call it the "you are what you eat" problem. You become what you say you become. You are what you think of yourself. I used to be terrified of lots of things, but after learning about this, I started.
He's fucking fearless.
Yeah, but after learning about this, I started doing a type of exposure therapy and telling myself I'm not afraid. So my fear of ghosts got better with...
Oh, that was a really funny example. Like, not heights or, like, getting robbed at night. It's just like, dude, ghosts.
So my fear of ghosts got better after watching ghost movies during the day when I felt safe and said it was fun. Did that on repeat for most of my fears. That's a kind of a good way to deal with that, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
doing it in, like, a safe environment and then slowly, like... He's like saying watch him scary movies during the day, and then maybe start watching them at night.
Yeah.
I can feel that. I used to get like easily scared from horror movies. It's not something I would watch on my own. Like, it's just not fun. But in a group setting or something, it's a lot more fun.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I think I like horror movies. I just don't like ones that have like excessive jump scares. Those ones are just like annoying. Like
Emily and I.
You know what movie I love? Sorry to cut you off. The Babadook.
Oh yeah, did I show you that movie?
We watched it at Shane's one night.
Dude, that movie. Someone at work brought that up that they watched. I was like, "Have you seen any movies recently?" And they're like, "Not really. We watched Babadook." I'm like, "That's hilarious." Yeah. That movie is funny as hell. It's also pretty creepy.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a good horror movie because it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right, and it's very like. Not like philosophical, but it's like telling a story. It has depth.
Yeah,
you know?
Honestly, that's a good movie.
Yeah.
But I could also see how some people wouldn't like it.
Right.
Because it's not super serious.
Exactly, yeah.
But there are moments where it's like, fuck, like this is terrifying.
Yeah.
Very creepy. But, shit, I lost what I was gonna say. Oh,
Something about Emily. You know Emily?
oh yeah, we were playing. So I like horror games to a point. Something like Outlast, I wouldn't play by myself. Which it you in that kind of situation, it's a horror game, and the mechanic is just kind of going through the game and getting scared and stuff, and you only have a camcorder, and you have no way of defending yourself. So like playing that by myself isn't fun because it's not like an action game or something.
Right.
Whereas like something like Resident Evil survival horror.
Right. Like there's a mission other than just being scared.
And like you get guns and stuff.
Yeah.
There's more mechanics to it.
Right.
We're playing something in between those two realms of being. I guess this one is a bit closer to Resident Evil, but Alan Wake 2. You fight like. You're like a FBI agent. It's kind of like an investigation story, and you get weapons and stuff. But it's a lot of like you have to figure shit out for yourself. It's not as it doesn't really push you along the same way like Resident Evil would, where it's a bit more straightforward. This one you kind of have to piece the narrative together yourself. Like you get like a whole like. You might have seen in like movies like a detective board. They have like photos and like draw string or string. Yeah. You have that and like this thing called your headspace. And as you're going along in the game, you take down notes, you take pictures, and you have to link shit together yourself. And it's not just like one board or one case. There's like multiple cases. So you have like a bunch of these boards that you're supposed to keep track of this shit.
What the fuck?
So it is a lot to think about.
Yeah.
And it's very easy to get lost because we jumped back into it for the first time in like months. There's actually some jump scares. Both of us were like screaming. It was, but like that's fun.
Yeah. I think really the only horror game that I played was Phasmophobia.
Okay.
I didn't play it on VR. I just played it on my PC. But
I would have loved to play that with you.
That'd be really fun.
Yeah.
I didn't get too into it because that's definitely one of those games where it's more fun if you're playing with like a group of people you know.
Yes.
Because I was just playing online with randoms and it wasn't the most fun, but that's similar to what was it, Outlast, where it's just kind of like there's no real like I guess there's a mission, but overall it's just like you're
go here, do this.
Exactly, right.
And then if you get caught, try not to, or run away and hide and stuff. It seems like a pretty funny game though.
Yeah.
The last thing I was going to say about this is I grew up partially overseas and in Puerto Rico. Like, yeah, there are storms, but I don't remember ever having like very like loud, intense thunderstorms. And same in Japan, we would get typhoons, which is what they call hurricanes on that part of the world. Or I think it depends on if you're hemisphere, like if you're southern or northern. I can't remember, but they call typhoons in Japan typhoons.
Hurricanes.
They call it, yeah, dude, I'm tripping. But when I came to America when I was like 10,
a hurricane?
So yeah, we went up to Vermont for the first summer that we were here, and my parents I guess I was being like bratty. And so they left me up there like with my grandparents for like 2 weeks or something.
Damn.
And
that's hardcore.
They didn't tell me about this until like we were already up there.
There's a fucking hit and run.
And they were there for a few days and they're like, all right, yeah, we're leaving you up here for like a couple weeks. But they also wanted me to like spend time with like my family. And I get that. At the time,
I just imagine like you just have like the clothes on your back, and they're just all right, dude, see ya.
No, to be fair, I was like pretty spoiled and bratty and whatever. Yeah. Like I also did not want to move to Maryland at all. I wanted to stay in Japan.
Dude, look at you now, man.
I want to leave Maryland. I want to go back. I would still go back to Japan so easily if I had a job set up there. Nothing's changed. But
the friends you make along the way.
You come with me. So that summer there was like some like pretty intense thunderstorms, and then it's like at like a lake, so you can see like the lightning come down over the lake and where the mountains are. It was cool, except I was terrified.
Yeah.
And it took me years to get used to it. I think by the age of 13, I was no longer afraid of thunderstorms. But even at like 12, I would still freak me out.
No, I distinctly remember like when that started shifting for me. Because obviously, like, as a child, I feel like, as most kids are, I feel like most children are, like, they get a little, like, fearsome during thunderstorms and things like that. But I remember I was in middle school, and I think we had, like, just had a pretty bad thunderstorm because some of my classmates were talking about, like, how loud the thunder was, and then we're going through this whole story, like, and the frame that I had is like, oh my god, last night was so scary. And this one girl finishes it up by saying, yeah, I loved it. And I'm like, the fuck? And then, like, as time went on and there were more thunderstorms, I was like, oh, people, like, enjoy this. And I think for me that opened, like, kind of like a view in my head, and I was like, I remember there was one thunderstorm, and I distinctly remember this because I was, like, intentionally trying to see why people enjoy thunderstorms. That particular one, I did not understand it still, because every time thunder would boom, I'd be like, oh, fuck. But, yeah, I think, like, once you hit a certain age, you're just like, dude, fuck it.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, I do remember my parents were out of town or whatever, and there was a really bad storm, and I was there for the night. Power goes out, and my best friend at the time, Brooks, lives down the street, and he had his...
I think I knew you then, didn't I?
No, I don't think you did.
All right, nice.
I would have been
the best friend.
I would have been like, yeah. I would have been 11.
Oh, yeah, no, we met in middle school, I think.
Yeah. The summer between my 7th and 8th grade. That's when I met you. Mm-hmm. So, I was like 11, so I was still very much afraid of thunderstorms. And, yeah, my parents were out of town that night, and it might have been like midnight. Power goes out, and it's just like pouring, right? And, yeah, Brooks and his stepbrothers come over, and they, like, get me, and then we go run back to their place, and it is... I've never run through so much rain.
Yeah.
Like, I ran to their place in, like, I don't know, like 30 seconds, maybe a minute. I don't know. 30 seconds, and I'm drenched.
Yeah.
And it was crazy, because it was, like, midnight, but you could, like, see. Like, I don't know how to explain it.
Like, from the lightning?
Yeah, but it just, like, kind of looked gray. It didn't look like black, like Dark Knight. I guess, I don't know how that...
That's interesting.
Maybe it was, like, a full moon or something. Who knows?
Yeah.
But I remember it being, like, very, like, bright out. It was weird.
So, we got, like, some pretty heavy rain. I think it was, like, last week. And I was at work at the time. And I don't know what made me, like, want to do it. And obviously it was, like, very unfeasible. Because, like, where the fuck am I going to get a 10-foot metal pole from, right? But I don't know why. Maybe because I was at work. I so badly wanted to run outside and just, like, see if it worked.
What, can you get yourself killed?
I would hope that it wouldn't kill me, but...
Dude, they could easily kill you.
The fact that lightning strikes...
like better than... I'd rather be anywhere else than work right now.
Fuck.
That's what that says.
Yeah, that's bad. Understandable, though.
Yeah.
But the fact that, like, lightning strikes are the temperature of the sun, that's insane to me.
You said, I wonder if it would work, bro. That is
yeah, like, I know that information. I'm still like...
That's attempted security. Yeah. Attempted suicide. That's what that is.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I think, and, like, I know, yeah, that sounded dumb. Like, I know that would work,
that's
but, like,
funny.
Would I get struck by lightning? I don't know until I know.
Yeah, only one way to find out.
Yeah.
Fuck.
All right, last one for me.
Cool.
This one comes from the advice subreddit. Found my missing coworker with her older boyfriend. Now my girlfriend is mad at me.
Oh, real quick.
Yeah, let's get that crisp noise, right?
I guess we're gonna do it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's gonna sound really nice on this one because we can only hear out of this mic right now.
Oh,
that's
right.
The whole time we've been listening to this.
Yeah, I forgot you muted the feedback.
Has a delay on it.
Yeah, that was fucking me up, dude. I was speaking and
there was no way that we could have done it.
Nah, not at all. I, 24 male, have been through quite an ordeal this past week, and I need to get this off my chest. So my coworker, 25 female, went missing about a week ago. We worked together, and I was the only one who knew her last whereabouts. Naturally, I was really worried about her and informed the police, who filed a report. But after a week with no follow-up from them, I decided to take matters into my own hands. So it's interesting. I'm assuming he
take matters in your own hands.
Yeah, which so that's what I was
a search party.
That's what I was just about to say. It's first of all, it's interesting that he was the person who filed like the initial police report. Because like I mean, I guess maybe they were close, but like, why wasn't it her family member or like? It's just weird that it was like a coworker.
Well, he went straight to the police.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, depending on I don't know how long she was like missing for. Obviously, they probably stay in close contact, but also the fact that he said I was the only one who knew her last whereabouts. That makes me think she was like somewhere sketchy.
And he also, he also may not know that. You'll have to keep reading because like if she texted someone like, "Hey, I'm going here," like we don't.
Right.
He doesn't have access to her phone.
Exactly.
So if you had a text and
right,
if she texted someone,
that's weird.
So
like, why is he? He's like.
He's like, no, I'm the last person.
Exactly. Like she would reach out to me.
Yeah.
That's weird, dude. That's a good call. Yeah, I feel that. Her boyfriend, who is 47, reached out to me for more information. Despite the age difference, they seemed really happy together, and he was genuinely concerned. I gave him all the details I had and offered to help him find her. We both suspected her abusive ex-boyfriend, 27 male, who had been stalking her and was insanely jealous of her new relationship with a successful older man. We informed the police about this, but they didn't do much. Okay, that explains why he was concerned. I guess he knew that was she with him? I don't know. It seems weird. Like I mean,
that's something to worry about. If she's being stalked by her ex.
Right, and then she just turns up missing.
Okay, this is kind of besides the story. And this sucks for her and anyone who's had to deal with like stalking or being stalked. I personally, maybe it's because I'm like okay in the brain to a certain degree.
Right.
I can't imagine being so obsessed over someone like. Especially like a girl, like I don't know, like whatever.
Also,
like that's just like
who has that much time?
Yeah, that's a lot of time.
Like, dude, it takes probably like 11, 12 hours to like really stalk someone. You know.
It's the fact that I've never like all of my relationships, I've been the one to end them.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I've never like been broken up with and then like still continue to think about that person.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I think I realized last time I did stalk a girl that like it just wasn't for me. Like,
yeah, I tried it once. I just something didn't feel right.
Well, like 8 times, but it's like I've never stalked anyone. I just want no one really knows my personality like you do, so I just No, I'm
gonna cut that out. Yeah. I'm just kidding.
That was a little homoerotic. All right, cut that.
Wait, how? What happened?
No, what I said.
What'd you say?
I was like, no one knows my personality like Jeremy does.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah. I don't think it's homework. I think last episode there was some more stuff.
Yeah. I was definitely with the gay quips.
Yeah, I was definitely about that gay shit.
I hope this stays.
I'll keep it.
Where were we? Oh, yeah. So, long story short, our instincts were right. We managed to track her down, and with our combined efforts, we helped her escape from her ex.
Oh.
Thankfully, the ex got arrested. How the fuck did they track her down?
Yeah, he's skipping over some information. Keep reading. Let's finish the story, and then we'll get into it.
Now, here's the twist. My girlfriend, 24 female, is really mad at me for getting involved, especially because of the older boyfriend.
Bitch.
She thinks he's too old for my coworker and doesn't understand why I helped him.
Sorry to keep.
He's too old. You gotta stay with this kidnapper.
How old is?
He was 40.
The woman who's been kidnapped.
The one who was kidnapped.
Who's dating the
25,
and
her boyfriend's 47.
47.
So it's a 22-year age gap, but at the same time, like his girlfriend is not her mom.
No, it's not your fucking. Place to worry about it,
and to say
like you're helping someone not be kidnapped.
To look past the fact that you saved someone from being kidnapped and be like, you should have left her. Her boyfriend's too old. Where's the correlation? What the fuck are you talking about?
We gotta finish the story.
Yeah, that's insane. She thinks he's too old for my coworker and doesn't understand why I helped him. I get where she's coming from, but I couldn't just sit back knowing I had information that could help. I tried explaining to her that I had information that could help find her, and she needed help, so I helped her. She needed help, and I helped. My girlfriend is really mad at me and thinks I should have kept my information to myself.
No, because then you could get in trouble for that, for sure.
She said I was wrong for doing what I was doing and said, you should own up to your mistake and stop gaslighting me into thinking you're doing the right thing. I don't think I was gaslighting her, and I genuinely feel that I was doing the right thing. If my coworker was a man and his girlfriend was in her 40s or 50s, I would have still helped to try to find him because I think it's just simply the right thing to do.
Yeah.
It's not like I immediately contacted her boyfriend. It was a week and no information was coming out from the police, and he contacted me. It almost seems like there's some kind of weird, like, it almost seems like the avenue that his girlfriend is going is like she has a problem with her boyfriend and his coworker being close, but she's like lashing out against, or I guess like using it as an excuse that her boyfriend's older. Cause like, where does another reason that I think that is the fact that he said, if my coworker was a man and his girlfriend was in her 40s or 50s, I still would have helped.
Yeah.
Like, what relevance does that have?
I don't know. Maybe he's probably just trying to make a point about that. I don't really know.
I think his girlfriend feels uncomfortable with how close he is with his female coworker. But to be like, I would say she's better off dead than like possibly having a chance with my man. It's crazy.
Yeah, I think that's a red flag. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
That's a big red flag.
Yeah.
I would question the whole relationship after that.
Yeah, because like
how insecure do you have to be?
Exactly.
You would rather someone have not, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, like he was like kind of a hero.
Yeah.
He fucking saved this chick. Yeah. Okay. And honestly, that alone is reason to like leave this chick.
This is an interesting story because it's funny because the problem isn't, the focus of the story isn't necessarily on the kidnapping.
Right.
This other shit.
Yeah, like
the kidnapping could be a Reddit post on its own.
Yeah,
but that's not what we're here to discuss.
Like, he explains the entire kidnapping. Then he's like, "Yeah, my girlfriend's such an asshole."
Yeah, I'm just dating this fucking bitch.
Yeah.
Damn.
Dude, that is wild. Yeah, I feel like she's like being weirdly unsupportive.
Yeah.
And she's just one of those people who like it just comes off as like selfishness. Like she's uncomfortable about something and she can't be happy that like this girl is alive and well because her boyfriend was the cause of it. Like that's weird.
Her saying that once again having someone use the word gas or the term gaslighting incorrectly.
It's like throwing it around.
It's like you don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
Very clearly. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I definitely feel that. Yeah, so obvious. Hold on. What was even the context of it? She said that you should own up to your mistake and stop gaslighting me into thinking you were doing the right thing. So the fact that she used it in that context, especially, she does think he's got like some kind of ulterior motive.
Yeah.
But like that's where I'm like, what does she think he was doing? Like, I wonder.
Like, I saved you. Now you gotta suck my
dick. Right, yeah. Or like he was like, oh my god, I have this thing with my coworker, and her ex might get her back. I gotta save her. Like what the fuck? I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, she's
fucking
in the wrong for that. She's wrong. 100%. She's dead fucking wrong for that.
He should beat the bricks off her.
Yeah, domestic violence.
Oh.
Is there an update? What if?
Okay, top comment with 410 likes. Your girlfriend thinks you have a crush on your coworker.
Yeah.
Like, how else can you say it? Yeah, a lot of these comments are spot on. Your girlfriend is probably either jealous of the girl, worried that you may have gotten hurt, or uncomfortable with the age gap, but seems unlikely. Yeah. So
I would definitely think about your relationship more after that.
Yeah. Because it's like I
don't know if I can get past that.
Nah, not because how do you lose sight of the plot like that? Like that's I don't know. For me, I feel like someone's safety or their life trumps every kind of emotional bullshit. Mm-hmm. You know, like that's all secondary. Yeah, and that could be
fuck your insecurity.
The thing is, though, it's not even like a problem to have that insecurity or just like any kind of insecurity. The problem is how you go about it.
This is not the time to talk. I don't know.
Or like not even that it's like you can talk about it. She could honestly go to him and be like, "Hey, I don't know why I'm feeling insecure about this relationship you have with your coworker," but like she made it an issue by being like just so vindictive about it and like he's in the wrong for saving her. now she just looks fucking nuts.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like she could have communicated it better. I don't know.
That's true. Yeah, I think everyone's probably insecure in some in every relationship, one way or another. So yeah, finding a good way to talk about it. That
exactly.
Seem crazy.
And honestly, what I've learned is like honestly just having that transparency, because I think especially when you get into a relationship and the connection grows, you realize like little insecurities will come out of nowhere. Like something that might not have bothered you with someone else, because you have like a deeper connection with someone new, it does bother you. But in those times, it's like you just got to be honest. You just be like, hey, I don't know why the fuck I'm feeling like this.
Yeah.
Like, and if you're with a good person and you guys have a good connection, they'll hear you out. They won't judge you, and they'll accommodate however they can. Obviously, not. You would never, like, as the person admitting whatever insecurities you have, you would never want it to be something controlling.
Yeah.
Like, if your partner, if whatever, like, insecurity you have is making your partner be like, oh, well, I won't do this, or I won't do, like, that's, I don't feel like right. Just because there shouldn't be compromises made like that. It should be like, well, I can communicate more, or, things like that. But.
Yeah, well, I think we're going to start to wrap it up. I don't know if you can tell or we're listening on camera, but we're both pretty fucking tired today.
Yes. I hope you guys can't tell.
I started feeling, before I went to Best Buy with you, I went to the mall to get something to drink, and then I had to use the restroom, and I looked in the mirror, and I was like, oh my God, I look visibly tired.
Yeah.
And usually I don't know. It just took me out. I'm like, oh my God, why do I look like that?
Yeah, that's definitely why I had to get the energy drink.
Yeah.
For me, I was more concerned about like what my mindset would be like, and if like my thoughts were going to be coherent.
I felt fine for most of the show today.
Yeah.
I'm on the back end of it. I'm starting to get a little tired again.
Yeah.
Did you have any? The one thing that we meant to bring up before we end the show as well is next week we're gonna have someone else on. So it's gonna be a special guest and a potential co-star or co-host with us. There'll be three of us, and right now this will still be the JCnJC show because we don't have anything else to call it.
Yeah, it's still coming up. Everything's like kind of fresh, and we went to a restaurant the other day, and we were talking about
mulling it over.
Yeah, talking about logistics and how the first episode went and everything like that. And I remarked about how it was funny. Like, I feel like there's been a lot of people who probably wanted to start podcasts and things like that.
Yeah.
And I think it's funny that in most of those instances, because those are also conversations that I've had and like been a part of. In most of those instances, it's like someone will be like, this is the name of it, this is what we'll do, like they structure it, what they're going to talk about, how it's going to be laid out, everything like that. And it'll just never happen because no one pulls the trigger, no one gets the equipment, no one like comes together. And I think it's funny because I feel like have taken the opposite approach. We've done an episode, we have the equipment, but we don't know what the fuck we're doing, which I enjoy.
I've always had this idea of doing this kind of format. And we had talked about doing a podcast at least months ago, and we just never got around to doing it. And it helps that I already have most of the recording equipment. I have some lights, a tripod. Like I had a bunch of stuff that I was already using. That, just you can also use for this kind of style as well. But
I guess in that regard, it did work out
because. To be fair, if I were to go out and buy all this shit just for a podcast, people would be like, "You sure you want to commit that hard?"
But that's something that I was talking to Sarah about.
You don't need all the shit that we use.
Right.
To be fair, we're also not using super expensive stuff.
Yeah.
I would actually prefer to have a laptop. I think would be better, just because it's mobile.
Yeah, definitely the convenience.
Yeah.
Which that's something exciting. I don't think we should mention that, but
what? We don't have to.
Yeah. Because I think I would like to film an episode.
It's going to be down the road. Like talking about it now means nothing.
Yeah.
But so we're still trying to work on a name because especially if this other person coming on If they're gonna be like a regular co-host, then JCnJC show may not be a viable option anymore. But I like JCnJC.
Yeah,
show. I think it's good vibe.
Yeah, I like it. And if you guys weren't sure why it's called that, both of our initials obviously JC.
Correct.
So it just worked out. But I had to cut that.
I'll just like subtract the audio for a second.
Yeah, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
The only hint that we can say about this person is that they went
He's got a big dick.
and went to our high school.
Which we went. No, I'm just kidding. Give him the high school too.
No. Most people watching us probably know already.
Well, hopefully we get to the point where people watching don't know us. All right, that'd be nice.
That's true.
Yeah.
So my address is. No.
Get a lot of people showing up.
Oh,
I'm just trying to think if there's anything else like relevant. But yeah, like I said at the beginning, any feedback that you guys have, obviously we're just starting out, we're new, so we would want to hear it. What do you think would like make the show better, or even like something thematically that you would want to hear discussed?
Yeah, I want to keep the Reddit story format for a while. I feel like it's just really easy, like to keep things flowing, you know.
Yeah.
We were worried that this one was gonna run short. It did not. We're actually a bit over.
That's the thing, though. That's why I like it. I think the only reason it ran over is because we were doing more riffing and just like general conversation, and that's where I think my desire comes in for the podcast. I'm definitely obviously cool with like keeping up with the Reddit stories because it does provide structure, but I also like the idea of just conversing and especially being able to like put our views out there and how we feel about things, and just kind of acting as like a catalyst for more dialogue. Because I don't know, I think that's why people kind of lean into podcasts. Because I mean, if you think about it, anyone who, not saying that there aren't people who want to get on a podcast and listen to Reddit stories, because Smosh Reads Reddit is fucking huge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of different channels that specialize in that and do that, so there's an audience for it.
And it's also like not a super saturated genre of podcast. Like when at least ones that I found interesting, I can think of like 3 podcasts that do Reddit stories. Smosh one, Thread Talk. There's one with these 3 dudes. I don't really like them. It's something about, I don't know, whatever. But Thread Talk's cool. They're from Canada, and yeah, they're really cool.
Damn, dude. I don't know. Canadians.
Get out of here.
I mean, the first half.
Crazy.
But yeah, no, either way, like, it's something that's new to us, and we're still exploring the entire world of podcasting.
There should be a significant jump in quality for this.
Yes.
This sort of, especially not just audio, and video.
Visually, yeah.
But I also didn't color grade the last one, and it looks okay. Like it just looks like a normal video. But this one will, pop a little bit nicer on the screen. Maybe we'll see.
Nice.
Yeah.
You're gonna look even more beautiful.
Oh, but one thing that would be to Justin was saying, leaving like suggestions of what we could improve or whatever. One thing that would be nice for recommendations or topics of Reddit stories. Yeah, I think that is, for me, that is the hardest part about this so far, is finding stories that relate to like one single topic that is not already a subreddit or Reddit. Yeah, because you have to have like one overarching. And you just gotta like read, or like you really gotta like sift them out sometimes. This one wasn't too bad. I think I found all of mine in like maybe not even an hour. Yeah, mine wasn't too bad, but I don't think a lot of mine really involved actual gaslighting. It was more like accusations. Yes, right, like false. Yeah. Mine was somewhere there. But so I think that's gonna be it for this time. Should we end it with another cheers? I like that. Yep. I got the bang. Got Monster. All right. Cheers. Hell yeah. Love you guys. So another one next week. Yep. Deuces.